The Islamic concept is very much different, but before we do that, let's try to see how Muslims look on religion. Popular Muslim perceptions of religion, again, are not one. For some, it's a matter of making prayers, making some ritual ceremonies like Hajj and Umrah, and giving zakah and so on and so forth, which means that observing the well-known 5 pillars of Islam means that is religion. If that is done, then some people think that they can have a political system the way they want, they can have economy the way they want, they can have culture the way they want, but at the same time, they should simply follow these 5 pillars. Then a group of Muslims assumes that these formalities of making prayer, going to Umrah and Hajj are irrelevant. While I am sitting in my own sanctuary, in my cubicle, in my zawiya, I can spiritually make an Umrah and Hajj. And therefore, spirituality becomes main concern for them. Even in some cases, we find that those who are having a spiritual discourse, or like the Turkish dancing dervish, and the time for prayer comes, they keep on whirling because they are in a state of unization with their ultimate, which is the best form of remembering and doing zikr. And what else could be more than unization than making a formal prayer by going to masjid? There are others who think that it's a matter of implementation of so-called Sharia. I am saying so-called because they think Sharia means punishments. Otherwise, if we look into the Quranic meaning of Sharia, then it's the source of life, the stream that provides water and livelihood to people. And therefore, it is not confined to punishments, but it means every single aspect of human life. Nevertheless, they think that if in Sawat or somewhere they have been able to implement some punishments, or in Afghanistan or anywhere else, that is Islamic state, that's Islamic Sharia. And a last group which is very much calling themselves liberal, they think that it's a personal matter. No one has any right to ask why I don't pray, why I don't fast, why I shout on my parents, why I don't keep my voice low in presence of my wife or children. It's my personal matter. It's not a matter of people to think about, and therefore between me and my God. And this is essentially what has been given to us by our education system, whether it is the so-called Dini Talim or the so-called secular Talim. Both give us this concept that you're living in this world and you're going to your grave is your personal matter. Nobody in the grave will be punished for feeding his or her children on haram, but just for himself. This is a very strange concept, but very popular and widespread, that Muslims believe and think that nobody should ask them about any religious practices because it's between them and their God. Let's see now how the Quran looks on this whole concept. But before that, theocratic and monarchical concept of governance in Europe was situated in the concept of sovereignty, popular sovereignty. It was based on equal rights of individuals to participate in political process, safeguarding the interest of the people as a whole rather than those of particular section or interest group, election and representation of adults, excluding criminals or insane, and then protection of freedom of thought, economic activity, equality in law, and security. It also had a common concept that religion and state cannot mix together. And the root cause was as I discussed a while ago, religion is something personal. State is something dealing with people, collective. So whenever they use these words, religion has been considered as a personal matter in all Western society because of that preconceived idea of religion, and therefore electorate permitted to choose only from amongst members of candidates previously members of oligarchy, a privileged group. They never thought about people who have religious background to be considered. People in general considered sovereign, they govern. Even in monarchy, the king reigns but does not govern. People are the authority. This has been the main concept which has been repeated, and that's why we find that in modern times you see some of the world powers always talking loudly about export of democracy, democratization. These are the so-called global or universal targets given by the global agencies, that we want to democratize underdeveloped quote-unquote societies. They think Muslims are underdeveloped, and when they democratize them means that they get rid of concept of Allah's sovereignty and they believe in people's sovereignty. This is what meaning of democratization. Then let's see, in Islam, the Quran and Sunnah do not consider Islam as religion or mazhab or maslak, but the term used is deen, and it's a comprehensive term. It includes ibadat, social responsibility, implementation of law and order, realization of Allah's sovereignty on earth through a just political order. Therefore, when we talk about Islam as deen, it does not leave governance or statecraft outside the realm of ethics and morality the Quran has given us.